Hello and welcome to Ruby Rose Tarot, and this is your weekly general reading for the week of October 7th to 13th of 2019. My apologies for not getting out a weekly reading last week. I had to do some workshops in Phoenix last weekend, and I just, in prepping and everything, I got behind. I actually did a video, but I didn't like it. It's a long story. Had some technical issues, and it wasn't perfect, so I didn't want to put it out. So thanks for joining me this week with a lot of interesting aspects that are going on. So as I'm doing this video, today is the 4th and Mars has entered into Libra, and yesterday, the big one, Pluto went direct, along with Mercury also went into Scorpio. So we're dealing with a lot of Libran energy because obviously we're in Libra season, but we're also dealing with some Scorpio energy very early on because Mercury is going into Scorpio, and then on the 8th, Venus is also going to enter into Scorpio. So we're going to start feeling that scorpionic energy quite early. But it was beautiful that, we had the Temperance card out, which is very, although it's not the card of Libra, it is about balance as well. If you can see, she's has the two goblets and she's pouring water between them. So it is about balance as well. And with Pluto going direct, that is very much the case of being in balance. There's a highlight this month. I mentioned in all the monthly readings on relationships, truth in relationships, honesty in relationships, intimate relationships, family, friends, co-workers. All this is going to be highlighted this month, along with power, right? Power dynamics within a relationship, again at work, home, family, all those things are definitely going to come to highlight the month of October, but very much so as we're going to feel the full effect of Pluto going direct. So other aspects to be aware of next week is Mercury on the 7th. Mercury goes into Mercury in Scorpio is opposite of Uranus, and the Sun squares Saturn. So that Monday may be some very difficult energy to deal with. Mercury is in Scorpio, and he likes being in Scorpio because Scorpio is all about truth and honesty. I mentioned make sure that truth and honesty is being delivered with constructive helpfulness rather than just, delivering some harsh truth and walking away. That's never quite a good feeling when truth is harsh enough, but if you're saying it in a loving and constructive and helpful way, that is so much lessens the impact. So, Mercury, opposite Uranus, I think it's just really, Uranus likes to stir stuff up, and not in a bad way, like in a very, very good way. He's about progress, he's science. So you may feel the impetus, or someone may feel the impetus on Monday to kind of say some harsh truths to rock some people out of some situations. That may happen. With the Sun in Libra squaring Saturn, that's some tense energy coming in, So just be aware on Monday. On Tuesday, Venus is going to enter Scorpio. Again, this is really watch how you're approaching your relationships. Again, with this Mercury and Scorpio energy, how you approach your lover or your loved one in terms of talking and thoughts. I really feel like it's speaking, trust. Anything that's going to come off distrustful, anything that's going to feel attacking, you guys just really want to be cautious of this at the beginning of the week. Your mouth is going to make you write checks, as my dad said, that your ass can't cash, right? So be careful of really spouting out at the mouth and not taking a moment to calm down. On the 12th, Venus also she's opposite of Uranus as well. Uranus is really coming into play just because this is on the 27th of October, he'll be the closest to the Earth that he's been in a long time. So the impact of Uranus as well this month will be felt along with Pluto. And it is still about this intense energy is not going to lighten up anytime soon. It is about getting your ducks in a row, guys. It is about, if you're just going through this and going, well, this has been a really shitty few weeks, well, then you're not learning the lessons that you need to learn, right? You just going through and going, this is a really shitty week or shitty months, and I'm just going to keep doing what I've done. That is not this energy. This energy is all about change. It is all about upheaval. It is all about doing the things that you have always done. As I said, if you are tired of getting the same old, well, then stop doing the same old. This energy is just pushing you to change. And if you're resisting it, it will be painful. I mean, I can't put it in a light way. It will be painful. And it doesn't have to be, right? That's your choice. So let's talk about these cards. And then what I did is I pulled a Sacred Rebel card just because I felt compelled to do it. And I actually really, really like it. And I'm going to end with it because there's a lovely affirmation that I would like to leave you guys, and I'll leave in the bottom. So what's interesting is I pulled the Six of Swords first, and then I pulled the Five of Swords, which is really interesting. So Five of Swords is a transitional card, right? This is about balance. Temperance is here to say, look, everything needs to be in balance in your life. If you're out of balance, if you're, food, diet, even out of balance in relationships, go back to Pluto. This is about power dynamics. If you feel like you're doing everything and the balance in the relationship is off, it is time to deal with these things. Pluto is also, about truth and honesty. So you need to deal with the truth about a relationship, the truth with yourself. What are you ignoring? Are you being honest with yourself, or do you're just avoiding the conflict? You're avoiding what needs to happen just to maintain the status quo. That is not this energy. This energy is not about it. So what's interesting is that this is a very transitory energy. I feel like some of you are starting to move forward, and then in some way you guys relapse a little this week. I hate saying that. This is, I love this card, the Six of Swords, because this is moving towards calmer water. It's getting your thoughts in order. It's moving, it's going, you know what, I know I deserve better. This is my worth. I'm not going to stay in this drama. And it's not even as dramatic. It could be as dramatic as leaving, which is interesting when we talk about this card. But it could just simply be like, I'm going to meditate. I'm going to start making some changes in my life to bring peace of mind. One of my favorite quotes in the world is, let nothing steal your peace. You're the only one that lets other people steal your peace. So it's this. So whatever peace you have to find, you have to do that, right? And I feel like there's an embarrassment or something that happens this week that you relapse a little on this, right? You get embarrassed, you get frustrated, something happens, and you want to go back to the old ways. Or just what happens is you get kicked back into your habit, right? Well, habits don't get changed overnight. Patterns don't get changed overnight. So you feel like, I'm ready, brand new me, brand new, I'm going to go forward, and then you have a little setback. And that's okay. That's okay, guys. It happens. Like I said, things do not change overnight at all, right? Balance of self takes a little while. And I just pulled an extra card because I wanted to see what that comes out with. But this week is really about, I think sometimes I had this ritual where I keep a victory jar in my kitchen, and whatever small victory it is, we put it in that jar. And I think it's really important because victories come in all shapes and sizes, right? They could be as simple as I was doing a yoga pose, and like if you've ever done camel in yoga and you reach back and you touch your heels, that could be a huge victory for you. If you've spent a year in yoga class and you finally reach back and touch your heels, that's huge, right? And you put that victory in there. If you had a situation at work that normally just triggers you and bugs you and will stay with you all day, and this time it didn't, this time you went and meditated, and like, I didn't let that steal my peace. I didn't bring it home with me. I didn't let it stew. I didn't sit in bed all night thinking and overplaying the situation in my head. I let it go. Oh my gosh, that's a huge win for me. Yes, it is. It's a huge win for you. So I think you have to keep that in mind this week. You know, progress comes in baby steps, not always in huge leaps and bounds. You know, it does feel more gratifying to have huge leaps and bounds, but that's just not the way it is. Yeah, see, and I just picked the 9 of Cups. So it's just literally, as I'm talking about that, this is what needs to happen in order for you to have this. You have to make, you have to be the change and the peace that you want to see in other people, right? And if you are just constantly getting triggered and getting set off and going home and stewing, right? And overthinking and overplaying, and you have no peace anywhere, at home, in your bed, if you're still just can't get to sleep because your head's still spinning, well, you have to change that. You have to move these swords and move to calmer waters, right? It's about balance in all things. So I want to talk about this, which is a beautiful card. Releasing allegiances. This is what's interesting is it's a 10, so if you do it numerologically, it's a 1, so it's a new beginning. And this is about releasing relationships, which I do, I always hate say anything about that because everyone's of free will. If there's a relationship you should be leaving, and I'm like, you should leave this relationship this month, and you're like, well, I'm not going to. Absolutely, you don't have to. But the energy there this month is very much about releasing relationships that no longer serves you. And that's what this card is talking about. This is absolutely about holding on to yourself and letting go of other people, even if it's just for a time, right? Sometimes you're not ready to be in this relationship. You need to do more growing. You need to do more maturing. That could happen. I don't ever want to say like, oh, it's forever. People come back. But here's the point of this with the temperance in this. You need to get right with you. You need to love you first before, you can give to someone else. Because if you can't give to yourself, you can't give to someone else. And it's the same for someone else. If they're taking and taking and taking for you and you're doing all the giving, that's an out of balance relationship. So I have a feeling with this month and the powerful energy of Pluto moving forward, there are going to be some transitions in relationships this month. And that's fine. I think some of you know it needs to happen. Or you've had a relationship that you have left and you're reflecting back like, yeah, that was, you know what, maybe this is the week too where you're feeling like, that was the right thing. I'm glad I did that. I am in a much, much better place. So I'm going to read you a little of what's in the book on releasing allegiances. You have completed many cycles in the vibrational frequency of consciousness that you are now being asked to release. You've been in that vibrational frequency for some time now. You have earned the right to step out of that frequency, out of the habits, relationships, and the possibilities that are limited to that outmoded frequency. It is now time to expand into higher frequencies of experience that will bring love, enhanced love, empowerment, and peace into your life. You will take the wisdom of what you have learned with you into something new connections, new relationships, new life experiences at a higher turn of the spiral of life. So it is, like I said, it's about getting balance. It's about releasing habits and patterns. I mean, it's so funny because I was talking about that. I've really been feeling this energy a lot, guys. This is the time that you just have to release the same old, same old. If you are not taking baby steps to change stuff in your life, I'm going to be honest, January is going to really blow for you guys. December and January, because the energy around those months are going to be super, super intense. And if you're not doing the work now to move towards being your best self and releasing outmoded and outdated habits and patterns, the energy at the beginning of the year is it's going to be so intense. And if you think it feels unstable now, it's really going to feel unstable then. So the more secure and grounded and loving you on yourself, the better you're going to be able to handle the outside energy of feeling really unstable. So, you have to get right with self, and then then you can move on. I want to read a little more for you here. Hold on one second. This is a time for self-love, for paying attention to yourself, for nurturing, holding, and being with you. It doesn't mean you can't love another. It just means you need to turn your attention inwards for a time, for some quality time with you. You will emerge renewed, refreshed, and clearer about your journey and your relationships as a result of this. So yeah, like I said, I'm like, it's not saying that you can't be with that person. It's just, if it's not working right now, let it go. If it is, or you're just not in a right headspace, then maybe you need to take some time. But the thing is you have to get right with you first. So there's an affirmation I will put down below for you guys for that, to help you get recentered with you and love on you. But next week has the potential for some greatness too. It's just you don't have to struggle. That just came in. Life is not about struggle. That's not what it's about. We choose to struggle, right? It's our choice. It doesn't seem that one sometimes, but it is, And so if you're waking up this week choosing to struggle, what are choices that you can make to release that struggle? What choices can you do to have a different reaction to that situation, to have a different reaction to that person? And it's not easy, guys, because your body has a habit now of reacting to people and reacting to situations. So it takes time. It takes time. You can't, as you move forward and you have a little setback, you can't throw all your hands up and go, oh shit, it's like, screw that up, it'll never make No, that's not beating yourself up. All right, guys, so have a great week. I am wishing you so much love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. Guys, stay positive, love on yourself. You are all so wonderfully amazing. Namaste.